Hi, I'm Chris with the Scott Technology Group, and today we're here to discuss the internal finisher and proper procedures for staple replacement, chat replacement, and overall jam maintenance. So the big benefit of our internal finisher versus our external finisher is in the name itself, internal finisher. Whereas the external finisher will normally stand on the outside of the machine, thus taking up more real estate, the internal finisher sits within the cavity of the copy machine and provides us a much more compact design. Well, when it comes time to empty the chads from the machine and or remove a jam, we need to know how to do that. So we'll start with taking a knee. We have a few doors here which blend in pretty well with the covers, so until you really get familiar with them, it's alright to be blind. Nothing here is going to hurt you and or bite you. You have your first door here. You just go ahead and take your finger and slide open that door. Now what's important to note about this door here is you have your staples here. You have your diagram here that shows you the proper way to load them and remove them, and then you have this knob here. This knob here, if you were to press it and push the machine out, this is what opens the cavity so we can freely remove any jams that may be lodged within here. Now while we're at this point discussing paper jams, it's important to note that once we have this open, we could go ahead and drop our second door here. In the center there's a little cutout. You just grab it, pinch, pull it open. Here we got two things. We have our chad tray here, which we just grab, pull, and as you can see, there's a few chads in there. Once this is full, the machine will prompt us and tell us it is full and ask us to remove it. And at that point, we go ahead, open the door, remove this, dump it, and then go ahead and slide it back in and give it a nice little push. The second thing we have here is this knob. This knob is important and it has an arrow indicating which direction to spin it in. If you spin it in the opposite direction, it'll do nothing. As you can see here, it'll just click like, hey buddy, ain't going. Go ahead and spin it in the proper direction, and what this does, if there is any paper that is stuck within this area here in the exit tray, rotating this lever will allow us to feed that paper manually until to the point we could reach in and grab it and extract it from the machine. At this point, we've gone ahead and covered most of the jam extraction process, with the exception of, this one's a little bit tricky to see and tends to confuse people. If you look here, there's a little green tab with an up arrow. Sometimes the paper will get in there, and what we want to do is just go ahead and pop that cover. We do that by lifting it up, and we just go ahead and make sure there's no paper within this cavity. And if there is no paper, sometimes the machine just wants you to reset the switches. So it's always a good idea to open all your gates and doors and close them so we can guarantee you that all the switches of the machine have been reset to the proper configuration. At this point, we'll go ahead and close our chad door. We're done with that. And now we'll discuss removing and replacing staples, which is fairly simple to do. When the machine is online and you open it up, you'll see that the staples will already be loaded to this configuration here. The machine will load it and set it this way for you. Well, the only thing you have to do is take your old staples, grab them as you see there, and pull them out. You'll get a new set. You'll take the new set, and you'll simply just line it up with the hole, and you'll push, you'll feel it click, and you'll hear it click into place. Once you hear and feel that click, those staples have been loaded into place. You will close your door, and then you will go ahead and slide your internal finisher closed, and you can resume printing here. Now while we're here is a nice little feature we'll discuss, and that's our on-demand stapling. That's the huge benefit of the internal finisher, is to provide the finishing options from a traditional external finisher internally. Those biggest things tend to be staples and hole punching, which as you've seen earlier, we have hole punching covered. Now say we wanted to staple a job when we printed it, but we forgot to print it, or we just only want maybe the first few copies stapled. Whatever the case may be, we're at the machine now, we can grab our papers that we want to be stapled, and we can load them into our internal finisher. Up until now, you probably asked yourself, well, Chris, what is this here for? It's a big old gash in the machine. What's it for? That is our on-demand staple. As you can see from our logos here, all we will do is we take our paper, slide it in, make sure it's loaded properly, and it will light up. If you leave it there, oh, sorry about that. If you leave it there long enough, as you've seen, it will flash and it will staple for you. Now say you don't want to stand there the whole time and wait for the light to flash and to staple it for you. You just want to put it in there and staple it, which you can do. It'll be the same thing. You just put it in, the light, and then you press it and it staples. And there we go. If you have any other questions, concerns, comments, or just need a hand, you go ahead and give us our call. Our number is conveniently located here on a sticker of each and all of our machines, and we always have somebody willing and able to help you. Thank you and have a great day.